Snipers, you have to see what's happening with the cryptocurrency market today as the trick, trap, and frustrate crew are coming in while Bitcoin is breaking out right now from this structural resistance level. We saw the US release their job numbers, and we've seen the lowest amount of unemployment jobless claims since the start of the pandemic, and now we're seeing the DXY move up over 0.6% today, causing traditional markets to fall. And what perfect timing for the trick, trap, and frustrate crew to come in. As soon as Bitcoin is starting to break out from the symmetrical triangle that we've been watching, notice how we have this 4-hour confirmation candle. And at this point, this is where technical analysis gets a little bit more advanced. Everything morphs from the 4-hour time frame into the daily time frame, and it works as a principle from the smaller time frames to the larger time frames. And so when we look at this confirmation candle on the 4-hour chart, this is where technical analysis gets just a little bit more complicated. We also have to assess the type of candle, and right now we have this bearish wick on the 4-hour chart, which is why I had to get this update to you guys while I'm in Bitcoin Miami right now, the largest cryptocurrency conference in the world. But this is way more important because a lot of you are saying that we have the confirmation, but in my books, we don't have a full 4-hour candle confirmation showing bullish momentum just yet. And what perfect timing for Bitcoin to come up above this major structural resistance level the same day that the US job numbers for jobless claims got released, and we saw the lowest numbers of jobless claims since the start of the pandemic, causing the DXY to see a major follow-through bullish candle to the upside. And notice how when the DXY starts to become volatile, it affects the traditional markets directly, with the S&P 500 falling all the way below to the 200-day or to the 200-period moving average on the 4-hour chart. But most importantly, what I want to talk about is what's happening to gold. Notice here how gold reacted to the DXY falling below this previous weekly open. Is this a puzzle piece on the table? Why did the trick, trap, and frustrate crew come in at the last hour right before the market opened and the job counts were released? Is that a puzzle piece? We have a lot to look at today. We'll also take a look at what's happening to Ethereum, because notice here how Ethereum on the 4-hour chart is also showing a bearish tail candle here, and this looks toppy to me. Is this the confirmation that we're going to see further downside, or is this the trick, trap, and frustrate crew coming in right now for Bitcoin, taking the price above resistance to take it back into its symmetrical triangle? We're going to talk about that. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Al-Abedi. Remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's hit 500 likes on this video while I'm in Miami. I'm here with Charles Hoskinson, Brock Pierce, and a lot of my friends and founders like Jeremy Gardner. If you're in Bitcoin Miami, hit me up on Instagram. The link is in the description below. Maybe we'll have a meetup or something of that nature. First, I want to talk about exactly what's happening to Bitcoin. So we've been waiting for the symmetrical triangle to follow through, and so far we are coming up above this major resistance. But long and behold, the job numbers came out today, and right now this 4-hour candle that closed above this resistance, which is what we want to look at for the confirmation, does have this bearish tail, and it does look slightly toppy. If we break back down below this structural support and we come back below 38,000, that could be a confirmation that this was the trick, trap, and frustrate crew coming in during the weekday when the job numbers are released. They were expecting something, they didn't get what they wanted, and now they bring the price back down. Here's the major level to watch. The weekly and monthly open are key at this point. And so the monthly open is sitting at 37,200. We need to stay above 37,200 if we start to see any sort of downside pressure come in to Bitcoin in the next few hours, into the next 24 hours. And so that's what I'm monitoring, this monthly open at 37,200. And then if that breaks, then that starts to put the downside scenario back on the table, and we start to elongate inside of the symmetrical triangle. And we all know that as you enter the apex of the triangle, which is the end of the triangle, the structure becomes weaker and weaker, and you don't want to see an elongation because that typically leads to further price action to the side, and that doesn't assume a breakout. And so we want to monitor 37,200, the monthly open, in my opinion. If it comes to the downside, Now, if we start to see real strength come in for Bitcoin in the next 24 hours, and we do get a follow-through 4-hour candle that takes Bitcoin back above this bearish tail, which has a candle high right now of 39,476, right at that $39,500 level, then that, in my opinion, would be the confirmation that we're going to see 50,000. Of course, we have this very large range of 30% from 38,000 all the way to 41,950, and that extends beyond that to 44,800, and then our target would be right around that $50,000 level. So a lot happening for Bitcoin right now. I do want to talk about what's happening to Ethereum, and then we'll transition into altcoins. I had a long flight, no sleep, and so I just want to get this update to you guys as fast as I can. So with Ethereum right now, of course, Bitcoin dominates the market, but we do have this bearish tail on the 4-hour chart. So if we come down to test the support of this channel at 2650, we want to maintain 2650 to assume further upside for the Ethereum to US dollar price. Of course, the weekly open is at 2400. If 2650 breaks, I think we'll come down to test this weekly open. Now, if we do see continuation of the upside, I think beyond 3000 at that big even, it's showing confluence with this structural resistance level. I think we can see the push that we want to 3,500 for the upside scenario there. Of course, we'll also have to monitor the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, but so far we're seeing very nice strength here. We're seeing this wedgish type of formation here, this almost like ascending triangle actually. And so I do expect that 86,000 Satoshi level to come into play at some point or another. And with others' dominance and altcoins on the daily chart, notice here how we're still having a cup of coffee between the 50 period and 100 period. I think that we'll still see continuation of the upside if and until we see a confirmation of others' dominance below home base of the 20-week moving average. I believe that it's in a bullish trend. That's kind of my confirmation of whether the macro is bullish or bearish. It's really based on where home base is, the 20-week moving average. Bitcoin dominance still way below home base. Looks like it wants to continue further down. And then here's the big puzzle piece we have to discuss, and we cannot take a blind eye to this. So the job numbers were released today. Under 400,000 jobless claims. That's the lowest numbers we've seen of jobless claims since the start of this pandemic. In reaction to this, gold saw a sell-off. We have a breakdown candle here. At this point, when we look at the S&P 500, we did see sort of a breakdown. This candle is yet to close, but we did see a sell-off. And so we need to address the puzzle piece on the table now with the DXY, because throughout the last 2 weeks, we were inside of this range. I told you, if the DXY is calm, it's a healthy environment for the cryptocurrency market. But when we start to see this move, that starts to create more volatility, and it creates more of an open range. And so this means, in my opinion, if we see continuation and follow through of this DXY, which this is a fundamental breakout due to the job numbers, maybe we can sit here and say it's a buy the hype, sell the news type of situation where people were expecting a strong recovery, and so they bought the hype, and now that the recovery has come, they sell the news. We could talk about 100 different reasons why the chart is doing what it's doing. There's always a reason that the market makers come up with, but what matters is the technicals. And the fact of the matter is we have this bullish follow-through candle above the weekly open, previous weekly open, monthly open for the DXY, and we are in a potential area where we could reverse, because home base is sitting right here at 91.015, and it looks like we're seeing this continuation, this higher low form, and that could potentially signal some caution that we need to take in the traditional markets and cryptocurrency markets, because when the DXY moves with strength and intention, that will affect the markets, and typically there's an opposite correlation. When the dollar strengthens, asset prices come down. So we need to monitor this. And then the gold to Bitcoin chart, very interesting price action here. You can see with gold coming down today and selling off from the news, we're seeing this potential cup and handle still in formation here. We still have this very proper structure. Let's monitor this. If this breaks out, that would be a very interesting puzzle piece, because this is the 2017 bottom of the gold to Bitcoin chart. This is also how we predicted the top of the market when we saw this crossing back above this 50-day moving average, and we noticed that there was a potential reversal on the table. And of course, we look at the 20-week moving average, and we've already got our confirmation above home base of a potential reversal here. So a lot happening. I had no sleep. I just flew into Miami. I had to get this video out to you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If I had a book here, I would bring it out. But if you want to win one of my favorite books on investing, share this video, comment below, and I'll pick a winner from our video yesterday. I'm going to wrap up this video. Christine Joy says, bro, what's the name of your Discord channel? Loving to hear your analysis. Thanks a lot. It's discord.gg/profits, and that's how you get onto the Discord. The server ID is just profits with an S at the end. And so with that, very interesting stuff happening with Bitcoin. Don't be fooled by the trick, trap, and frustrate crew, snipers. With that, I hope you have an amazing day. If you're at Bitcoin Miami, send me a message on Instagram, and I'm going to hit the hay, and then I have a meetup to go to with Ian Bellina, I believe. I got to check my text. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, snipers out.